Our scripture reading for today, Psalm 13, begins with the psalmist going through a very difficult time in life. The psalmist cries out, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I bear pain in my soul?" You have probably experienced a time like this in your life. Maybe you lost a job and were having a difficult time finding another one. Maybe you had to go through an extended, painful divorce. Or maybe you just fell into a deep depression. Or you lost someone close to you. Or people at school are making your life miserable. And sometimes these situations seem like they're going to go on forever. You can get to a place where you hate to go to another business to fill out another application. You hate to have to meet with the divorce lawyers one more time. To have to continually work out the details of your painful separation, the loss of stability in life and a future that you thought was secure. Or you find yourself remembering your lost loved one every time you turn around. And so you enter a time of darkness and pain. And when you get into these times, sometimes the darkness can become so complete that you can't believe that it will ever end. It feels like that situation at work or school is never going to end. The divorce will never be done. And will the doctors ever be able to take your constant pain away? The psalmist understands your pain. God understands your pain and your frustrations in life. And it is okay. It is understandable that you would get to feeling angry or even hopeless in such a situation. And yet these painful times that you're going through or that you sometimes have to go through, these are the times where you truly discover what your faith is all about. These are the times that you come square up against your limitations as a human being. You are not God. And sometimes the situations of life are simply bigger than you are. You cannot be in control of all things all the time. And some situations bring this painful reality into sharp, sudden focus. And it seems unfair. Isn't God supposed to take care of you? Isn't God supposed to protect you and secure your life? These are fair questions. And they certainly go to the heart of your faith and trust in God. And yet, life is not really about being pleasantly happy throughout your entire life. Life in Jesus is about learning the larger lessons in life. Life in Jesus is about learning to sacrifice, learning to give up your own agenda for the sake of someone else. Life in Jesus is about being able to understand and feel the pain and cares and deep concerns of another person. Those are very difficult lessons to learn when you are sitting fat, and sassy. It is very difficult to learn the intricate feelings of a person who's dealing with injustice until you have felt injustice. It is difficult to understand how a person feels with no job or no health coverage when they need it, unless you or someone that you know have felt some of those things. And so you and I get to go through some of these various traumas of life. You wouldn't choose to go through such pain and loss. But these real depths of life help connect you in a real and deep way to everyone else in the world who have also had to live through these traumas in life. And what is neat is, finally, in the end, somehow, God leads you through to the end of your darkness, to the end of your trial. Like at the end of the psalm, the psalmist writes, "But I trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me." Many of you are on the other side of many of your trials of life. You can remember them clearly, but you also remember that God has brought you through them. I know I've told this story before, but I remember a time when we were trying to sell a house for 2 years after we had accepted a new call and couldn't sell the old house. And just as we had accepted the reality that we were going to have to declare bankruptcy, someone decided to buy the old house at a great loss to us. But God delivered us. Maybe God delivered you from some serious trials that you have experienced. Maybe you have been through the loss of a job or the pain of relocation. Maybe you have been through some serious trials or the serious trials of divorce. Or maybe you have survived a serious health crisis. Then you have felt God's delivery from suffering. And you have known personally the presence of God in your life. And so you tell of these blessings and thanksgivings to everyone throughout your life. Thanks be to God. Thank God for delivering you from terrible suffering. You don't just go off and forget it. God got you through one of the most terrible trials of your life. You give thanks. And you tell others that God will help them through their trials in life too. You are a living, powerful witness to the resurrection of Jesus in everyday life. Your life, you and all the trials that Jesus has brought you through, these are the continual witness of Jesus' power and Jesus' resurrection in the midst of our everyday lives, in the midst of each of your lives. And so, in witness to what God has done in your life, with the psalmist, you sing. I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me. Thanks be to God, that God has brought you through all of the crises in your life, and will bring you through whatever is to come, until you see God face to faith in His kingdom forever. In the name of Jesus.